Okay, now we're going to take you kind of around the boat and just show you a few features that are on it and just a few things to be aware of. All the seats do fold up, and you've got life jackets under the seats. There's towels, there's an extra propeller, there's various things in under the folded seats. So it's always good to be kind of aware of where things are, before even taking it out for the first time. There's the fuel cap right there. Again, like we've mentioned before, there's anchors on each side. In case you want to anchor, those are already tied to the carabiners.
Also, back here, if you were to lift this up, this would usually be for fish, but not for ours. That's not for fish, because we have some things in there.
Right, there's actually a hose in there, and other things that you can hook to it. There's a pump on it as well, so I mean you can, if you choose to use that, you can. With the boat itself, as you can see here, it's 10 people and 1,295 pounds is the max capacity. That also matches the amount of life jackets that we have already on board. It's important that you don't exceed that, and be aware of your person counts before you take the boat out. And there's also a compartment under here, under basically the console, fire extinguisher. We have a first aid kit. There's also in one of the seats, there's like a throwable square that's required to be on the boat. In the event that someone went overboard, you need to throw that to them or get them a life jacket or
Also, please do not use the Band-Aids in there just for up at the cottage. It's only for like emergency situations.
Right, yep. Use it as needed.
Also, right here, we have a trash can.
Yep, there's
so
a trash
throw
bin
your
there.
Trash in there.
Yep. And it's important too at the end of your stay that gets emptied as well instead of sitting. So you got various things that you can kind of move around, like these tables can actually come out. You can move these cup holders around. There's various things you can do, like the seats turn around. There's some extra compartments in here. Those are supports for the cover, but you don't really need to deal with the cover, but you can put fishing poles in there, things like that. But basically this is just kind of a once over of some of the things on the boat. I'll take you to the console, the driver's console. There's a radio here. You got all the gauges. There's actually a depth finder on here as well. You can turn that on and kind of see the various depths as you go around the lake. But it's it's got the RPMs, the fuel, the trim gauge that will tell you if you're trimming up or down. It tells you where that is. You've got nav lights that turns the radio stereo on. There's the horn as well. Again, you shouldn't really need to use that, but
you should only use that if you end up getting stuck out
right
there.
If you need to signal for help or anything like that.
Please don't honk to the people that are by there, because somebody might think that you're in trouble.
We do have a connection here that you could connect a phone to, and then on the radio, instead of doing radio, you can switch the mode to auxiliary, and you can stream music or whatever. And it's actually, we do have speakers, 4 or 5 speakers around the boat, so you can get some music playing or whatever you wish to do. There's the antenna that can go up and down. Again, it's important that that's down as you're leaving or parking. This is the location alongside the driver console where the boat key goes. Simply turning it from on to off, we'll turn on the gauges, and then a little bit further we'll start it. One important thing to note is if you're using the key and it does not seem to be started, you need to pay attention to this clip that's below. It will be in place as you arrive, but it's possible if someone pulls on this string or simply pulls it down, the boat will not start if that's not in place. So right there, it will not eventually start. So you need to, or it'll give you a warning signal. So it's important that this clip essentially stays on the boat. You simply have to, it's hard to get an angle on this, but you have to put it above this red switch and then flip the switch up, and then it can simply sit like that. So that needs to be in place, and then you can go back to starting the boat like so. And then the engine at this point is basically idling, because we haven't turned it into gear, but you can likely hear it. And it's always important. Again, you really shouldn't have to mess with the trim up or down, but if you do, if the engine's running, it's always important that the propeller is down in the water. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. That you don't want to trim the engine all the way up and then start it and then leave it idling. It might start smoking. It's not good for the engine. It needs water to function properly. So at this point, you can even see that the depth finder is running as well. So I mean, we're only in 2.7 feet of water. Two other things with the boat. The boat is actually not set up for any type of skiing or tubing. It does not have a tow bar to it, so it's important that you do not try to connect any tubes or anything like that to the back of it. It's really a boat that's designed for essentially just kind of, cruising around, possibly fishing, things like that, but it's not set up for any type of water sports or anything like that.
Sure you know